I'll have to fix that after the race. Yeah, I'll get that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sweet.
Welcome everybody to Talladega Super Speedway here on iRacing for the iOS Truck Series. Here, this is the last race before the playoffs, and we're getting excited to see who's going to make it in and not make it in. I'm joined tonight by Atlee Atman. Atlee, how are we doing tonight?
I'm excited. I mean, there's points on the line here at Talladega. We saw how exciting the first two playoff, final race of the regular season in the ARCA and Cup. So I'm excited to see what happens here in the trucks. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of aggressive racing as a lot of drivers want to get it in. Let's take a look at point standings to see, who's in and who's trying to fight their way in.
Yeah, right now, locked in Isaiah Gill, Colin Williams, Brian Newty, Devin Bacino, Logan Hagerman, and Colton Kinsey. And they're only locked in because they got in on points. Seventh on back, though, is the bubble. And normally you have a couple drivers who might be safe at this point. But right now, the only safe drivers are your winners. And we do have a very, very tight where really anybody can make it in. We see Joseph Wright, who made the Cup Series playoffs, is just on the outside looking in right now. So he's got to have a good night tonight. Same with Dylan Redden, Eddie Morris, Max McClure. Max with 20 points. I mean, he's only 20 points back. Anything can happen here at Talladega, so it's a crapshoot.
I mean, you never know. I love when the NASCAR Cup Series had the final race of the regular season at Daytona. That made for some exciting racing and some unique drivers getting into the playoffs. So we'll see if that same thing happens here at Talladega.
Yeah, so, and then after this week, we're going to be starting up our playoffs. And our first playoff race is going to be at Charlotte on April 7th. So we're taking a week off, if I'm correct. Yes, we're taking a week off.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll be back on April 7th. Nope, we're not taking a week off. I take that back. I'm looking at my calendar wrong. Uh, so next week we will be at Charlotte, and then Auto Club, where we'll drop the bottom two, move on to Texas and the Roval, and watching these trucks take on the Roval will be pretty fun. And then we'll move on to the winner takes all at Las Vegas. And what better place to finish off a season than Las Vegas, Atlee?
Yeah, that's a fun track. Love Talladega. I mean, yeah, Las Vegas. My bad.
We're watching these guys just finishing up their practice right now. We got a couple small little packs out on track.
I believe everybody has gotten the new drafting package figured out, so we'll see some two-wide racing, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, the trucks don't have that new drafting package just yet. They're still on
Oh,
the.
I forgot
Yep,
about that.
no, it's fine. So they're still on the old drafting package. I ran the Super Speedway Kings last night in the trucks, and these trucks, you can easily hold them 3 wide around this track. I know we had 3 wide for 35 laps last night. It was pretty intense. I know I led a lot of laps on the high lane, but wasn't able to get it done last night, but that's all right. As we see right now, our leader, our current
James Moore.
yeah, James Moore.
1.50.
Currently winning practice.
Devin Buccino second in that 68 with the 51.60. And then also with the 51.60 is third, Brian Newby.
Brian didn't really have a very good good run last night in the Cup Series, so we'll have to see how he does here in the Truck Series. They say John Foskey 28 on Twitch saying, watching this makes me want to start racing asphalt. We love dirt too. We've got our double dirt series on Thursday nights. That's still double dirt, or it was last week, the last night.
They're taking 2 weeks off, so we're going to only have Iowa Dirt Dominator series tomorrow.
So, John, if you like dirt racing, join us tomorrow night.
He actually races in the dirt cars.
That's right. John does run in the dirt cars. So whether you're watching here, so I know we did on a couple platforms we're on now. We've got the YouTube, we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitch. If you're watching on any of those platforms, we can see your chats. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know who you're rooting on. Also, in case you didn't hear, we're actually broadcasting on Roku and Fire Stick on eRacing TV. So eRacing TV, it's an app on your TV through Fire Stick or Roku, and you can watch us on the big screen. So check that out if you haven't already. We'd appreciate you.
And they have all kinds of other racing as well on eRacing TV, so make sure to check us out on there.
So last night we had group qualifying. Jeff Brewer says, let's go Bowen 28. Last night we had group qualifying. Tonight it's going to be single truck qualifying.
I wonder why they switched that. Did it go okay?
It went great. I just think because of the drafting package that they had last night, it made more sense to run the group qualifying, if you will. Whoops.
We'll see what happens here. We know James Moore was the fastest in practice, but that might have been because he was in the draft. So we'll see who is the fastest by themselves out on the track. Most drivers are making their first lap around Talladega.
Yep, and as a lot of people know, Talladega is a very unique track. It's not shaped like you would normally expect. It's still a D-shaped tri-oval, but your start-finish line is actually past the tri-oval. Most ovals have the start-finish line in the center of the tri-oval. This one has it right after the end of the start-finish line, or the tri-oval. So very unique, brings for some great racing.
Yeah, it makes for some awesome finishes with that tri-oval being at the end of the tri-oval. You see beating and banging all the way through the tri-oval, and then they spin as they exit right across the line. So Talladega, with the tri-oval being not in the center of the trioval makes for some awesome racing. And photo finishes. I don't know if you looked at photo finishes for the Cup Series. I wonder which track would have the most. I'm pretty sure Talladega. No,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to look at that.
Yeah, between Talladega and Daytona for sure. We know the couple Daytona 500s recently have been photo finishes in their own right, so we see people starting to put those times out. Right now, Dustin Buck is currently sitting on the pole with a 55.96. He's in that 00 machine. Joe Wright up to the second spot. You know, Joe's a very experienced super speedway racer, able to really hold that thing down on that yellow line nice and smooth. Keeps it wound up. And I wouldn't be surprised if Joe ends up on the pole here.
Daytona has the most with 18 of like the top 50, and Talladega has 13 of the top 50.
There you go.
Dylan Redding on the top, 55.95.
Here comes Joe Wright to the line. Let's see where he winds up.
For his second lap. No, it's a little bit slower than his 55.97 that put him in third.
Joe's brother Dave out on track, so currently sitting in the 7th spot.
He had a great race in the ARCA series, getting 6th.
He's going to come across the line. He's not going to improve his position. He's going to stay in the 7th spot.
That's been a common occurrence so far. Drivers not improving on their second.
Yep. See Stephen Black out on track. The looks like he finished up his laps. He's going to be in 11th.
And he's had some bad luck recently.
Yeah, he's the they were joking around calling him the iOS lap leader champion of the season.
That seems about right. I mean, he's led the most laps in the past couple races, but
well, not just that, he's dominated races and just not been able to finish them out.
In the truck series, he leads pretty much all the laps, and then Isaiah Gill happens.
Or something happens to bring out the yellow. So it looks like we still have a couple drivers left to take their times. TJ Floyd, Isaiah Gill, Michael White, Colton Kinsey, Brandon White, and Colin Willems has not taken his time yet as well. So.
And I'm wondering if some drivers might decide that they won't be trying to do a time, just because they want to stay in the back away from trouble.
You know, that's a possibility, Atlee. I mean, you know, Talladega is known for the big one. Anything can happen. Jennifer Bowen just says, come on, 28. Another one rooting on Jacob tonight.
See, where's he at in qualifying right now?
Jacob looks like he's
25th with a 56.09.
Yep. But qualifying doesn't mean anything here at Talladega. As you know, anything can happen. For instance, last night, there was a point where I was sitting back in 26th position, and a lap and a half later, I was in 5th. So those things can happen if you can get a couple good trucks lined up on that third line. And I know a lot of people don't like to take it 3 wide, but if you get a couple good guys up there who can make that third line work, they can get a good run up there, keep that truck wound up, and get a great run down the backstretch. You know, super speedway racing, I say it all the time, it's like playing chess. You got to look a couple moves ahead of you.
Couple moves ahead.
Yep, you got to keep your eye on what's going on around you. And yeah, if you can kind of time things and see what's going on, and if you see a truck 6 trucks in front of you jump down to a lower line, you know that lower line's about to check up and come back to you. So that's the energy. It's all about where the energy is, where the energy is going, and how you can get your truck forward.
Got Colin Willems going on track.
Yeah, I see Isaiah Gill on track as well. Michael White.
Brian Nudie says, let's
go,
go, Colin.
Is Nudie joining the Colin crew?
They've been making fun of him in the chat and says Colin Willems has programmed bots to cheer him on in the chat. So I don't know, that could be a possibility. But looks like Brian Nudie joining the Colin Willems crew. See how he does. Michael White gets to 27th, Gill 28th. Michael White had a 56.76, Isaiah Gill 57.08.
Yep.
Let's see if they can improve on their second lap.
So, Atlee, are you saying we're going to have a Turing test before we before people can comment on our Facebook pages?
Yep. I am not
little
a robot
captcha.
test.
A little captcha.
Little captcha. There you go. From now on, if you're gonna comment on Facebook, you got to do a captcha. And there goes Gill across the line. Can he improve? He does. 56.07.
Yeah, Michael White moving up as well, who we were watching, moves up to 20th. But Colin Willems on track right now. And I think he's going to be the last car, or truck car, as Joe would say, to make a qualifying attempt.
Brian Nudie says Team Bot Squad. There we go.
Excuse me. I wasn't able to hit the mute quick enough. Team Bot Squad. I love it.
Now, holding in your sneeze is actually not good for you.
I know. I was just trying to hold it long enough to hit the mute button, but wasn't able to. But that's all right. It's Colin Willems moves up to the 29th position, but that was just his opening lap. Thank you, Jennifer.
Bless you.
Corley and Mather. Let's go, Colin. Brian Nudie says that 40 is trash. I agree, Brian. The 40 is trash.
Completely agree.
Looks like he's driving a dump truck out there. He ruined my pizza.
Like, literally, that 40 is... I can't stand him.
But at least he can make restarts, though.
Yep, unlike
Noah
somebody else.
Yep, Noah Walter says, let's go 48.
That would be...
Will Cloud Jr.
Will Cloud Jr., yeah.
Nick Mather, Colin Bot Squad in full force. Let's go 18. I love it.
Bot Squad in full swing here. Talladega, and Colin Willems gets to 12th with the 56.01. We have 6 drivers with the 56.01. That's a common occurrence at super speedways where 5 or 6 drivers have the same time.
Well, not just that, Atlee, but the top 20 are separated by 1/100th of a second.
That is crazy to think about.
As we're going to take a look at our grid here. Oh, I don't know why I did that.
Oh, you look at that. Blake Kinsley said Junior Nation's on their feet. Glad to see they cleaned the beer cans off the track last night. Maintenance crew had a field day. Getting all those beer cans off the track. The track actually increased their pay by $5 because of what they did.
There you go. So starting on pole tonight, Dylan Redding in the 11 machine with Dustin Buck on the outside. Joe Wright in the 82, he's going to be rolling off third. Kyle Mays in fourth in the 55. And Stoney Benfield in the 75 rolling off in fifth.
We got the 3 car of Zach McBride starting in 6th. 7th is Dave Wright outside of him. We got Alan Warnecki with the 68 of Buccino starting 9th. And then Mr. Dustin Dean in that 21 car starting 10th.
In the 11th spot, we're going to have Stephen Black in the 98 with Colin Willems rounding out the 6th row. And the 7th row, Will Cloud Jr., Eddie Morris, and then Brian Nudie rounds out your top 15.
Starting 16th, we got Matt Pucker Knights in the 38. 17th, we got Brian Merle Jr., Derek Chaput starts 18th with Logan Hagerman of Intensity Racing Team starting 19th. Michael Provolt in the 95 rounds out your top 20.
21st, Michael White in the 09. Outside of him, James Moore, that'll be row 11. Row 12, Jackson Qualley in the 17. And Isaiah Gill in the outside in the 2 machine. And your 25th spot will be Sylvan Seguin.
27th, we got Jacob Bowen. 28th, we have Greg Froelich, who we actually, speaking of Greg Froelich, can only say that Froelich is removed tonight. We Riot. 29th, TJ Floyd. 30th, Mike Rintz Jr. And then 31st, Brendan White. And 32nd is Colton Kinsey, but he has not gone onto the grid yet. Neither has Devin Buccino.
So, Noah Walter
go ahead.
asks, how long until he has to DQ somebody? Guess lap number. You know, that's not fair. I don't think we should be able to, you know, talk negatively about people like that. I say lap 5.
I'm going to be nice and say lap 8.
As long as it's not Froelich, his temps are fine. And if you guys didn't catch the race last night, we had a late race crash, a late race caution. Greg Froelich got caught up in it, and his engine was blown. He was smoking, and he was staying out there. He was trying to finish the race, and he did a good job. Unfortunately, his motor let go right at the end, but
No.
we had a little bit of fun with it last night. So that's where these comments are coming from. So we got to make sure to fill everybody in.
Go watch that race.
It was a great
all
race last
replays
night.
are saved on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Racing TV.
Yep.
So make sure to check out the replays. You can go back and watch any race from the first race we ever did. Don't watch that one.
Abby Trudeau says, "Let's go, Devin." That'd be Devin Buccino. As the pace car makes that left-hand turn to the long pit entrance here. And again, restart zone is really more in the middle of the tri-oval here, as these guys are going to take that long ride to the starting zone.
Just gives you a little bit more time to catch your breath before the start.
And the green lights are on, green flag in the air. And Dylan Redding with a big push from Joseph Wright right at the beginning to get this started, as they're going to be side by side as they get these things wound up, those restrictor plates. So it does take about a lap and a half for these guys to get up to full speed, as these engines are restricted. They're only right around 400 horsepower. So, but in the draft, those speed up pretty quickly, as we already see some motion in the back. One car moving back, top line to bottom line, trying to figure out where that energy is. But right now, looks like Dustin Buck is going to take that lead with a great push there from Kyle Mays, and he's just going to leave Kyle Mays behind him.
And he's the leader of the high side with the 3 of Zach McBride behind him. And it looks like we have somebody on. Devin Buccino is finally getting into the race. He missed the gridding period, so now he's finally getting back on the track. Let's see if he can make up the laps that he lost.
Fortunately, if a yellow comes out, he will get the lucky dog. And, you know, at a track like this, it's not a bad thing to sometimes miss the start there. As you see that top lane, really, oh, we got a spin in the back.
No, Logan Hagerman. Jacob Bowen looks like caution's out. No, that is not good.
Just going to bring up our wreckage rewind. Let's see if we can see exactly.
Looks like it has something to do with the 38 of Matt Pucker Knights. Had a Pucker moment himself.
See if we can take a look from the chopper here, because usually the chopper gives us the best view of these. And let's see if we can.
Maybe some bump drafting gone wrong from the 7 of Hagerman?
Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah, Hagerman. A little bit of a bump draft here from, Matt Knights. Yeah. So the 37 of Derek Chaput checked up just a little bit. And, Hagerman goes for a wild ride, but that caused Matt Knights to check up a little bit. And when Matt Knights checked up, he got hit from behind by Hagerman and sent him around. And you see Brian Newty get caught up in it, Isaiah Gill, 28 Jacob Bowen.
I mean, I'd love to watch the in-car cam of Hagerman.
And as we said, Hagerman just had nowhere to go. He unfortunately was not Take a look at what Hagerman saw here, because you'll see just how fast everybody just checked up. He got in the back of Matt Knights. Really nowheres to go, and that's a helpless feeling right there.
Gosh.
Gets it back
Like,
on the
if
wheels.
that was real life, the crowd would have been silent. But this is iRacing. It's crazy. Oh, and then somehow, some way, he's able to get back on his wheels.
We got a couple takers on pit road, mostly people getting damage fixed, and we saw this last night as well. Joe Wright going into pit road here. Looks like he's
Dustin Buck?
Yep, Dustin Buck. These guys pitting from the lead, but this is a wise choice, because if you can get a full fuel load here, we're not going to take any tires. But if you get a full fuel load right here, that's about 5 to 6 laps further you can go. And if somebody has an issue coming on or off of pit road, that can really change your outcome, because now you can pit under yellow, catch up, and more than likely be on a different pit cycle than everybody else.
So Joe wins the race off of pit road. Eddie second. There goes the 0-0 of Dustin Buck. Matt Knights goes off. You see Cheeseburger, Michael White, TJ Floyd, Rents.
Brian Nudie just coming off pit road now.
Yep, there goes Fronick. Still got Gill. There goes Gill. He's off.
Oh, he didn't use a reset though. His truck's still mangled.
He's probably saving it, predicting that we might see something else. Which I don't blame him. Give us your over-under for cautions. We'll do over-under 7.5.
I'm going with the under.
Going with the under.
I'm going with the under.
I have faith in these guys. I'm going with the under.
Last night we had an early caution, and then we went about 55 laps green flag. So anything can happen. You know, that wasn't really more than anything. Wasn't anything that anybody could do there. There was just a big checkup, and you know, some people just can't react fast enough.
And like you said earlier, when you're flying in the air like Hagerman was, it's a helpless feeling. But he gave us the thumbs up from the window. He put the window net down, so he is okay. We'll get checked out in the infield care center.
Take a look at our track information here. We've got the Super Speedway, 2.66 miles. Temperature right now is 97 degrees on track, 70 degrees in the air, 54% humidity. It's cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour winds. It's a great racing, great weather to be running a race here at Talladega.
Weather. I like it.
Because that's going to give you a lot of grip. You know, the track's not too hot. Tire wear really isn't going to be an issue anyways.
The altitude is 540 feet for those of you who love altitude. It's a great thing. Dustin Buck back on pit road. Probably getting the last of his damage fixed.
I don't think Dustin had any damage. I think he was just getting, because he was our leader.
Okay.
I think he's just getting that little top off.
Right.
Again, every drop of fuel that you can save on a super speedway can actually help you out.
For sure. We're about to go back green here. Kyle Mays on the bottom. Dylan Redding on the top.
And you know, we talk about teammates and how much it helps having someone to help you out. If we look at this little gaggle back here, we've got Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, and Matt Knights all together. Those are 3 teammates right there. Logan Hagerman is sitting all the way in the back. And who else is on that team? David Wright, who is sitting in 8th. So those 3 right there could easily get hooked up and get themselves to the front.
For sure. We'll see who all groups up. Of course, there is teams in this series because they have drafts, which is a unique thing that I first ever saw in the iOS series. It's Dylan Redding in the Pelican Snowball car, born from a New Orleans tradition of combining smooth, fluffy snow with bold flavors. Pelican Snowballs has been serving over 100 fantastic flavors to its customers for almost 20 years. Come by and visit them to find your favorite flavor. Again, over 100 fantastic flavors. Find yours. Here we go. Getting ready to go back green. Let's see if we can get a good green flag run here. Here we go. Green flag is back out. Kyle Mays takes off. Gets clear of Dylan Redding. Gets a great run. He's going to stay low. He's got Zach McBride behind him. Got Warnecki and Redding, and the high side has fallen out a little bit.
Oh, big checkup on the bomb as Dustin Dean had to check up to keep from getting into the back of the three of McBride. And you can push the car in front of you, but if that car's pushing, you cannot push the pusher. You want to be right on their back bumper, but you can't touch them, because if you do, it's just going to really upset the cars. We got Eddie Morris down on the apron. Looks like he's just trying to stay out of the way. I don't think he was real comfortable.
The top is very, very, very disorganized right now. Lots of gaps and holes up there.
Oh, Colin Willems getting taken 3 wide by Stephen Black. He pushed up the track just a little bit. That's going to allow Stephen Black to put him in that sucker hole in the middle. And he's got no help right now.
We look back up front, we're seeing a side-by-side battle.
One car, couple cars down
Dustin
on the
Dean.
apron. Looks like they're backing out of it. They did not like what they saw. So they want to fall back to the back of the pack so that they can be safe here. We just saw
3 wide. We're seeing Merle Jr. go up there. Some others as well.
Merle Jr. with a good push here. Is that Stoney Benfield right behind him?
Oh, that's Max McClure in the Tide car.
It is Max McClure. And it looks like the 61 of Moore's. Up here comes Colin Willems to that third line. The 61's trying to join that party as well. Come through the tri-oval here.
It's like Merle is clear of the middle.
Yeah, Warnecki now stuck in that sucker hole in the middle. That's not where you want to be, because you want to have some friends as he's able to actually make that work a little bit. Using a little side draft off the 74. What side draft is, if you get right next to that car next to you, you can dump the air from your car like a wake right onto their spoiler and slow them down. That's kind of what Warnecki did. He came up real close, pushed that air on that spoiler, dragged that car back as in front of him, and you see TJ Floyd now into that middle lane trying to get some help. Here comes Michael White as well. Now we got 3 cars in the middle lane. Ooh, Lawrence really, really loose there, but he's able to hold on to it. Colin Willems seeing that middle lane starting to get a little bit of energy. He's going to jump down there. And you just see how everybody's so tight right up at the front. Everybody else kind of spreading out. They don't like what they're seeing up front, but
I don't know.
I like
contact. Oh. They got to keep it clean if they want to stay 3 wide.
And that car in the top lane, Truck Series is 3 wide. Yes, you're seeing that.
Crazy to think about, but here we are.
Dylan Redding getting a little loose with a bump from Kyle Mays there. And as that truck on that top lane, you want to keep your left wheels. You basically want to straddle that that top yellow line or top white line. As you see, they're doing right now, and yeah, we're still seeing 3 wide. Brett Merle says, good racing, Brett. This is great. Oh, and they're wrecking. Dylan Redding gets turned up and over. Warnecki taking
big.
a wild
lot
ride.
Big names got taken out. A lot of big names.
It's the big one here at Talladega.
Maybe the little big one. No, that's a big wreck for
That's
sure.
a big one. We'll take a look at our wreckage replay. I think that started.
09. Michael White.
Is that who started with the 09 Michael White?
Yep. He was under Max McClure. Let's see. We'll see here in the replay. Brett Merle, you jinxed it. He said good racing, and then 5 seconds later, big one. So
Oh, yeah, we'll rewind just a little bit further back here. So we'll see that Max McClure. Oh no, the '09 comes up. Max was coming down. That was just two cars coming together right there.
just meet in the
They
middle.
barely catch TJ Floyd there. Turns Dylan Redding all the way around. Dylan hard into that outside safer barrier. Warnecki taking a crazy wild ride as well. See Isaiah Gill getting through there. Nope, he gets caught
Oh,
up. Colin Willems gets through. Hagerman gets
Dylan
through.
Redding. Gosh, he's going up where Carl Edwards went.
Warnecki took a wild ride there.
No, Dylan Redding takes the cake with the wildest ride.
Greg Froelich gets through it. His temps are
Looked,
fine.
looked exactly like Carl Edwards up there. Goodness. Yep.
That's
Sean
gonna,
Spinoza, Dylan Redding was the one that went flying in that white car. And Blake Hensley says, I sure hope Warnecki's okay. He'll
yeah,
get
everybody's
out.
all right. We just got word that everybody has got their resets. Everybody's okay.
Okay. No injuries?
No injuries. I'm sure Warnecki's a little dizzy, but he'll be good to go. John
He's
Spinoza says,
fine.
"My goodness, that was the big one for sure."
He's fine.
But that's going to give Brian Merle Jr. lead. TJ Floyd in second. TJ's got a little bit of damage to that back bumper when he got just a little
contact.
bit, yeah, a little bit of contact.
Will it affect him?
As we see if we see that little bit of damage there on TJ Floyd's back bumper. You know, in the draft, I don't think that's going to affect him. Junior Nation is on their tippy toes. Yes, Junior Nation is leading the race. That's Brian Merle Jr. He's also got a little bit of damage on the back of that thing. It looks like he got run into from behind as well. But a little bit of rear damage isn't going to hurt you too much. That's going to be able to, you'll be able to stay in the draft all right. But a big shakeup right now is Brian Merle Jr., TJ Floyd, Stoney Benfield, Zach McBride, Colin Willems makes up your top 5. Derek Chaput up into the 6th spot, moving up 12 spots. TJ Floyd, though, moved up 28 spots since the start. Incredible start for him. Nudie makes it through that. He's sitting back in 7th. Michael Provo, Greg Froelich, and Will Cloud Jr. are your top 10. So big shakeup.
And imagine how all this going on is affecting the points.
You know, I wish we had a way to show live points right now.
That would be awesome.
It would be absolutely awesome.
SDK, we need that.
There's a way to do it. It's just we don't have the programming just yet for that. So
we need that. We already got a lot of cool stuff. We got the pit sector. It's pretty sweet. Race info, the grid.
Speaking of pits, I never turned on my pit road.
Here you go. At least there's no heat races.
At least there's no heat races, that's for sure. See all these cars on pit road right now. See Dustin Buck, Mike Rentz, David Wright, Dustin Dean, Alan Wernicke, Dylan Redding, all on pit road currently as the lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going back green flag racing here in just a moment. The caution laps do take a little bit of time around this track as it is 2.66 miles long. Yeah, Sean Denozio says, thank God it's iRacing, otherwise they would have been in the hospital after that. That is for sure.
The crowd would have been silent. Announcers would have been silent. I mean, it would have been scary if it was real life for sure. It's iRacing.
I mean, think about how scary it was when Austin Dillon hit the wall or hit the fence at Daytona and just stopped. I mean, that was probably the scariest because when you see a car hit the wall and it keeps moving afterwards, that's one thing. But when a car hits the fence and just comes to a complete stop, they always say it's not the incident, it's not the crash that hurt you. It's the sudden stop, and that's exactly what that was. And the fact that he was able to walk away from that without an injury is just mind-numbing to me.
It's crazy. But, I mean, technology and safety has advanced over the years, which is good. That's why more people need to get into the sport to help develop new technology and more safety for the drivers.
That is for sure. Pace car takes that long left-hand turn on the pit lane.
And that's coming from a racer myself. I mean, safety's always in my mind.
Absolutely.
You're taking a risk, even putting yourself out there on the track. But here we go, we're back green here, getting a great jump as Brian Merle Jr. in that 74.
That might be too much of a jump, unfortunately.
Too much, right. They can get up and just go right around that 74. Well, I've seen that before.
Yeah, because when you got a draft like that, what's going to happen is that front car is pushing all that air, and that back car is not having to move as much air, and he's going to get a great run and slingshot. Let's see if TJ Floyd comes off of 2 here. No, he's going to stick right behind.
Giving the 74 a good push. Let's see if the top can get organized.
It's Derek Chaput, Brian Newty, and Michael Provolt hooking up on that high side. And look who's stocking that high side way back there. Here comes Joe Wright. I see Jackson Qualley just pulled up there along with Colin Willems. So it looks like that top line is starting to get a little bit more organized than that bottom line is right now. And I always talk about the energy. The more organized you are, the more energy that line's going to have. As you can see, Derek Chaput now battling for the lead.
There goes the Barney car to the bottom. Got Brian Newty now the leader of the high side.
Yeah, Brian Newty getting a great push from Michael Provolt all over the back bumper, expecting that move, expecting Chaput to jump down to the bottom. And that's exactly what I was talking about before. You got to kind of look at that. If you think that car is going to move down there, you want to be on that back bumper, that car in front of you, so you can push them right along. Newty is clear. Looks like he's trying to bring Provolt along with him. Are the two of them going to clear him?
I don't know.
Oh, Jackson.
He goes Jackson Qualley making it 3 wide.
Oh, here comes Newty back up there, trying to get back hooked up with Provolt here. And that's going to allow Joseph Wright to give Jackson that big shove in the middle lane. We're already back to 3 wide racing. These guys are putting on the show here tonight. We're 15 laps in.
This is crazy.
And look who's right behind Joe, Matt Knights. 2 intensity drivers hooked up together. Let's see if Matt can help Joe along. You really don't want to push. You just want to be on that back bumper without touching him to get that line moving as Joe pushes Jackson way out to the lead. Joe would have been able to go down there, I think, but he just wasn't able to.
Oh!
Wow.
Contact! That was scary right there. Looks like Jackson just thought he was clear of Derek Chaput, and he just hit that front end. That is scary right there. David Wright on pit road.
And if we ride along with Joe right here, you'll see exactly what he's seeing is you don't want to push too long because you can overheat really, really easily. Joe's modulating that gas pedal, making sure he's not slamming into the back bumper in the corner. But once they get on this straightaway, here's that big push again. It looks like Jackson's going to... Oh, it looks like Joe's just going to dive down to the bottom because Jackson didn't want to move down there. And that's going to move Joe Wright
Smart move.
into the catbird seat right now as he's going to take the lead heftily.
This is his stomping grounds for sure. We'll see if he can keep the lead. Or can the high side get... We got Jackson Qualley, Matt Knights up there. Stephen Black, Eddie Morris all up there on that high side.
now Chaput just not really pushing Joe here. You know, Joe's really hoping to get a push, but he's not getting the push that he wants. But that top line is not formed up either as Eddie Morris gets shoved high. And he's stuck on that.
Buccino goes up there.
Oh, Buccino does move up to the top line there.
That changed some things.
Unfortunately, he didn't have anybody right next to him, so as this top line catches up to him, they've got a choice. They can either check up because they're going to be going so much faster than him, or just go around him. And I think Buccino's up. Now he's got a little bit of help here. Oh, Matt Knights gets shoved way wide. Oh, makes some contact with Stephen Black. And here comes TJ Floyd and Buccino on that high side now.
Can Floyd and Buccino get a good run? Chaput's got to get on that back bumper of the 82 if he wants them to stay up there.
Right along with Stephen Black, and you can just see how much these trucks move around in the air here. It's really, really, you know, it looks like it's easy to just hold the gas open and hold the truck straight, but the truck doesn't want to move straight. As here is Jackson Qualley, the third line, and Stephen Black right there at the back bumper to push him.
They go up there. See if they can get something done up there.
Yeah, Colin Williams joining the party as well on that third lane. And that's where I like to run, right up on that third lane. I feel the most comfortable up there myself, as Buccino's going to be clear of Joe right here, but he's not going to leave his partner, TJ Floyd. TJ's going to get clear here. They're going to pull down in front of Joe. Joe's going to have to check up a little bit, and that's going to stack up that bottom line and give a little bit more energy to the other two lines out there. There goes Matt Knights down to the bottom. Joe pulling up in front of Eddie Morris.
There goes Buccino blocking. Doesn't want that high side to get a good run.
They're coming up on the lap truck of Dylan Redding. Dylan's going to have to get out of the way because these guys are 3 wide.
Oh, what's he going to do? Decision-making time for Mr. Redding. You can just see them in his rearview mirror.
And these top 12 cars, you could throw a blanket over them right now. Oh, he's going to try to stay to that. This is not going to work.
This is not going to work. No.
You see
okay.
That high line had to check up so much. And look at all the time and all that gain, that ground that they gained up there to lose it all because, because the lap car stayed up. I mean, great heads-up driving for those guys to not run him over. As Joe Wright has just been pushed back to the lead with Eddie Morris, and it looks like the two of them are clear, and they're going to pull down. Greg Froelich was trying to come down too, but he just wasn't clear. So now he's stuck on that middle line with Colin Willems and Derek Chaput right behind him.
This is getting crazy. 25 laps to go.
There goes Buccino back to the outside. Oh, Joe Wright putting the big block on Buccino, and Eddie Morris is going to go underneath him.
It's not going to work out for him.
No, 3 wide now. Here comes Chaput to the back bumper of Joe Wright. Froelich now giving a little bit of a pinch inside draft down there.
Can they get something done?
And Jackson Qualley now to that middle lane as well. Oh!
No, 82 around. What a save. No, that was... Did they save it?
We're still green. We're still green.
What a save by Joe and Derek Chaput.
And Matt Knights. It looked like Matt got into the side of Joe just a little bit. I don't know how much damage Joe has. Let's see if we can take a look at that left rear bumper. That doesn't look like it's too badly damaged. He should be able to carry on. But up front now, Eddie Morris being challenged by Devin Buccino. He's got Greg Froelich and Jackson Qualley on that high line, but right behind him we see that McClure.
I'm watching the replay of the previous incident. Let's see. Just because I was curious to see perspectives, what happened, but looks like there's only a couple cars in that pack. Goes from Eddie Morris to, let's see, Eddie Morris to Joe Wright and Stephen Black. So the top 10 all in a little pack together, and then there's other little packs behind them.
These guys just don't want to get organized. They're just trying to race. These guys are racing like it's the last lap right now.
Why not? I mean, we got points on the line here.
Looks like Michael Provolt's coming down to pit road. Stephen Black and Joe Wright now hooked up. And I think, if we look at these two right here, the magic number I always say is 1 second. Yeah, these guys are a half second back. They're catching this group in a hurry. So if you look at Stephen Black's top speed right now, 188, 190. You just see the speed difference between these guys. Oh, Stephen Black with a big move. He gets real loose trying to make that move. Joe Wright goes right underneath him. He saw that. And that's the experience of a super speedway racer right there.
There goes more people dropping off onto pit road. TJ Floyd, Colin Willems, strategy here.
Well, I do imagine they're getting pretty close to being out of fuel. Remember, Joe Wright and a couple of these guys did go in and pit.
Right.
So that little bit of fuel that they have, that they got under those yellows, is really playing dividends right now.
That's correct.
But I do imagine that these guys will be probably pitting within the next lap or two. I'm sure you'll hear it called out on the radio there, Atlee.
I actually have my radio muted just because there's a lot of chatter in this league.
Yep. You can see where everybody's running on the track right now as we got the track map up. As the field is really separated right now. Looks like Greg Froelich hitting pit lane right now as well.
Yeah.
And he's hitting pit road by himself. And Atlee, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to be on pit road by yourself.
You're saying right now that everybody needs to get single file if people need to drop off.
They work around the 3 of Zach McBride, and right in front of him.
Will Cloud Jr.'s heading in this time by.
Oh, Sonny Benfield gets turned by Devin Bacino.
No, no.
Benfield's going to come back across the track. Yellow flag is out. I'm not 100% sure what happened on that. We're going to take a look at our wreckage replay here. If you don't recognize that wreckage replay, that was from last week.
So 68 tried to make a pass below him.
Oops.
And he just clipped him.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to get below him here. Make some contact. They were just trying to lap him. And we see, whoop, I don't know why it's not showing Benfield right now. There we go. Yeah, we see Chino trying to pass him on the inside as opposed to the outside, and just turns him. He comes back up across the track, crosses over that yellow line, and that's enough to be on the racing surface to bring out the yellow flag.
Wow.
So this is going to change everything as these guys are racing around to catch the pace car.
And again, this just makes me want a live time, like a live point standings to see how that shook everything up.
See if we can as everybody comes on the pit road right now.
we go. We got a lot of, including that Pelican snowball machine of Dylan Redding.
And let's just remind you what the points look like right now.
That's a good idea.
TJ Floyd, Dustin Dean, Greg Froelich, Brian Merle, Al Wernicke, Michael White. Before this race, they were in, but they were on the outside looking in as they were not locked in. And as we said, anything can really happen. I think TJ Floyd is having a pretty good race right now, and I think he's going to be able to sneak in. Dustin Dean sitting in third. That should be enough to get him in as they run right now. Greg Froelich sitting back in 12th right now. So he would be in right now. As far as Brian Merrill Jr., Alan Warnecki, and Michael White, they would be on the outside looking in right now because Joseph Wright having a great run, led a couple laps. He'd be moving up. Don't forget, and I'm not including any stage points. I forgot the stage ended, I want to say lap 15.
I did forget about the stage points.
So tonight, the stage would have ended on lap 12. So we'd have to go back and check lap 12 to see who was in the lead at that point to get those 10 extra bonus points on back.
So we're going to do some more pace laps.
Yep. Nick Mather says go 18 go.
There we go. Colin Williams, just fantastic technology that he's created. It's genius. I'll have to ask him because, I mean, I gotta get people. Go Atlee finished 15th in the ARCA series. We're going for get the top 15.
There you go. You're doing better. Wasn't a road course then, was it?
It's not a road course. That now Roval being in the playoffs might be good for Nudie.
Yeah, we saw Nudie dominate at the Roval last season. And with Cody Moore being a very, very skilled road racer as well, Nudie's got a little bit of competition on those road races. So I know Cody is watching on Twitch right now.
Yep.
We've got 23 people watching right now between Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Now I will say, make sure to check us out on Twitter.
Yep. And don't forget to download eRacing TV on your Fire Stick or Roku. You can watch us on the big screen every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday night with the 2 iOS series on Tuesday and Wednesday and the Original Rebels on Sunday, as well as there's a couple other leagues that will be broadcast on that as well. So don't forget to check that out. It's eSpace Racing TV on the Fire Stick and the Roku.
But especially check us out on Twitter, as I got a question up. What's your favorite unique racetrack food and why?
Unique racetrack food and why?
Yep.
You know, the lobster rolls at New Hampshire are very, very good.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot. I've heard of a lot of different things, especially tracks up in Canada. So.
Oh, when I went to the F1 race and had poutine for the first time, if you don't know what poutine is, it's French fries covered in duck gravy with cheese curds. And by God, it is the greatest food in the world. Hey guys, thank you for the kind words, but Nudie is on another level. Go Cyclone Racing. That's Cody Moore on the Twitch. As the pace car is pulling off here, Colin Williams is your current leader. Nudie's right behind him in third. You got Michael Provolt and Brian Merrill Jr. on the high side. Let's see who can get hooked up here on this restart as we're getting ready for the green flag to come back out.
Here we go.
Green flag's in the air. And Froelich
16 to go.
jumping to the outside already. Gets a great restart already up beside Michael Proval. I don't know if that was a bit of a jump start or if he was just timing it just right, but there goes Colin Willems and Brian Nudie.
Kinsley says time to get dicey. We're going to see a lot of dicey racing for sure. A lot of... Oh, there goes Nudie and Max McClure up to the high side. And bottom's very, very, very disorganized, so that's just going to allow Max McClure and Nudie to go straight down there to the bottom.
That's not Max McClure. That is the 19 of Brandon White in that Menard's Tide ride.
I keep thinking that's Max. Well, he was running, wasn't he running a Tide 19 last week?
I think he was, but I don't see Max in the race this week, so... You know, Max was doing some moving over the weekend, so... As now Brandon White all over the back bumper of Brian Nudie, giving him that push, and Froelich still trying to get someone to go up with him on the third lane there. But right now, nobody wants to bite. Oh, here comes Joe Wright on that high lane. We knew somebody was going to go up there. It was going to be Joe. Eddie Morris with a big push from Stephen Black now.
I mean, sometimes that third lane is just a lot of drivers' natural habitat.
Joe's dragging his brother David up there as well.
Mather says we have a local poutineer. So good.
It is so good. Unfortunately, we don't really have it. Oh! David
No!
Wright spins! Caution is out.
That is life-changing right there.
Looked like, I don't know if David Wright got a little bump or if he just lost it on his own. Have to go back and take a look at the replay here to see exactly what happened to that five machine.
He was 3 wide with Seguin and Quali.
Yeah, I know he was...
he just gets loose.
Yeah, he was trying to push his brother there. Trying to push Joe on that high side.
Right in a cheeseburger.
Oh, it looks like Seguin came up just a little bit, got him loose. He comes down into cheeseburger. Michael Lawrence comes back across track in front of Dylan Redding. 61 of James F. Moore caught up in that as well. The 75 of Stoney Benfield. Derek Chaput just gets caught up in at the last second. And the 3 of McBride. Looks like he's able to sneak through there. Oh, great job for some of those guys. I want to ride along with the 3 because you can see the of Zach McBride because he just barely got through that. We're going to take this back at full speed.
Yep, definitely. If you're going to look at cockpit, do full speed for sure. Just gives you what he saw in real time. Saw some people go down in John Deere country.
Looks like he made it through without getting any damage. So that's look at that. That truck is pretty much clean. So great job for him to avoid that. Nick Mather just gave me a link for some poutine. SmokiesPoutine.com.
Let me read the about. What inspires a man to launch a rocket into space? What compels him to flex his biceps to Hulk Hogan proportions? And what greatness causes a man like Smoke to create the gastronomical dish of all time? Legend has it, the same reason for all of mankind's greatest feats, to win the affection of a girl. Yes, the girl. Smoke spent days and nights turning the precious Canadian poutine into a totally crazy concoction that would win over the taste buds of a Molly Ringwald look-alike so he could moonwalk straight into her heart. He cut potatoes with the determination of Wolverine's retractable claws. He smothered them with gravy and cheese curds, but he didn't stop there. Oh no! In a love-struck crazy, added double smoked bacon, caramelized onions, sauteed mushrooms, and pulled pork. He presented the box to his sweetheart, and it was love at first. Plastic forkful. The taste had the power of 100 mixed tapes, and they wet immediately. Smoke realized that he couldn't keep this secret to himself, that he could use it to help all of mankind, and thanks to the power of his poutine, he was ready to answer the call of grumbling stomachs far and wide. After all, the love of poutine never dies.
Thank you for that, Atlee. And being here in Massachusetts, we really don't have too much traditional poutine. So I could eat that all day and all night. So
And you're announcing with Atlee Atman Weiss.
so if there's gonna be if I'm announcing with Atlee, food is gonna be brought up at some point of the broadcast.
At some point, especially on Wednesdays, because of my obsession with Pelican Snowball, which again has 100 flavors, 188 locations all across the United States. Great.
So how long until these guys start paying us for these great reads? And
I don't know.
I'm still waiting to check for the check from Gil's Dump Service and
Dump
Pizzeria.
truck. Yes.
Brian needs to get on that.
I ordered a pizza on March 7th. It's March 31st. I mean, I don't know.
See Alan Warnecki hitting pit road.
Okay.
Top off on fuel here. A couple cars still on pit road as well. David Wright still on pit road. I don't think he had any resets left, so he's just sitting there waiting to get damage done. I love how this is all about poutine. My favorite Avalanche. Gills don't send checks fast, they send fast checks.
Yep, for sure.
As long as they don't send rubber checks, we'll be good. The ones that bounce. The lights on the pace car are off. We're having too much fun here under yellow flag. I'm glad we have this chat open and we can interact with you guys. We enjoy interacting with you guys. Gives us something to do under these long yellow flag laps here at such a long track. But
keep them coming. I mean, how about this? I mean, I might actually start requesting caution discussion ideas, as long as it's appropriate. I mean, we can just do some caution discussions. But we're about to go back green here. Eddie Morris on the bottom, Brian Newty on the top.
Man, now I want some poutine.
Thanks
Nick.
Madler. Appreciate it. Now, I'm going to lose my co-announcer to some food. He's going to go all the way up there to Smoke's Poutineery.
Sure, it'd be quite the drive for me, and I don't even think I can get into Canada right now.
Dang.
think the border's still shut down, so. But what's not shut down is the racing here at Talladega. As we see the pace car getting ready to take that left-hand turn, and as he does that, we're going to have just 10 laps to go to settle the score here and figure out who's going to make it into the playoffs. Is somebody going to sneak in? Somebody on the outside looking in. Somebody like Eddie Morris, Stephen Black, Joe Wright.
Ooh, here we go. Points on the line, pride on the line. With family watching. Here we go. Green flag is back out here. 10 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. And already Dustin Dean making it 3 wide.
Eddie Morris
going outside of Cal Mays.
Eddie Morris with a big jump there. As we already see him starting to go 3 wide, and a little bit of contact there between Kyle Mays and the 71 of Fronek.
There goes Nudie, Michael White, Colin Willems on that high side. Looking like a train.
And here comes Eddie Morris with a push from Stephen Black. Coming back right now. Michael Provost down there as well. Here comes Brian Merle Jr. as well. Trying to make that bottom line work.
Love it. Love to see it.
Isaiah Gill, Joe Wright down on that bottom line as well. We see Dustin Dean and Devin Buccino on that high side as well. And there goes Colin Willems.
Up 3 wide.
But he's all by himself. He doesn't have any help, and that's not going to work for him as he's just going to start sliding backwards.
Somebody go up there. There's Hagerman. He goes up there to try to help Colin Willems. There they go. They suck up.
Oh, and a big push from Brian Merrill Jr. on Michael Provolt. And as I said before, you can't push the pusher. Just nowhere's for him to go. And there goes Joe Wright moving up to that third line right behind Hagerman. See if he can make something happen up there. So we cross the line. Oh, Dustin Dean now trying to make it that third line and throws a big block on Willems. Here comes Brandon White up to the... Oh, Dustin Dean up into the wall.
No!
Joe Wright to the inside now down the middle line, and he's now underneath Nudie. Look at that run that 82 truck is getting.
Look at that. 82 and Joseph Wright.
And that...
Wheeling that thing.
That is the experienced super speedway racer right there. Seeing the checkup, seeing what's going on around him, and making the smart move there is, looks like Brian Merrill Jr. is trying to lose a little side draft here, but now Joe's going to give Buccino the business, as Buccino's going to try to push Kyle Mays up here to the front. Joe down to the bottom now. He sees that energy on that bottom line. Doesn't see that top line moving too well, so he's going to try to pull down there and see what he can do as Stephen Black in a big shove to Eddie Morris, getting Eddie all out of shape as they come across the line. 7 laps to go now.
Ooh,
Brian
coming
Merle,
down to the nitty gritty.
yep,
Go time.
Brian Merle Jr. and Brian Nudie. I thought we were going to jump out to that third lane with Brandon White, but they thought better of it. But I think they're still thinking about it. Here comes the Derek Chaput up the middle all by himself. Now he's got the 7 of Hagerman on his back bumper and TJ Floyd as well. So now that middle lane might get a little bit of energy and some help here as they're catching the back bumper of Joe Wright.
Yeah.
And if those guys can catch up and make that middle lane start to move. Oh, Stephen Black gets loose, pushes up into Buccino. Here comes Joe Wright making a 3 wide in the middle now. He's going to lead that middle lane as Kyle Mays is stuck on the high side. 6 to go, and Eddie Morris now going up to help his teammate here. He sees Joe right up there. He's going to get a big push. Joe's going to give him a big push now. And right behind them, Derek Chaput. You see those trucks really moving around. A little bit of that's air, a little bit of that's the pushing.
There goes Dustin Dean and Hagerman up there to the third line.
There they go too. And Brian Merrill Jr. and Brandon White trying to make it, but it looks like Hagerman's going to duck back down. Sees that he doesn't have momentum, doesn't have a run, so he's trying to get that momentum back. Joe all over the back bumper of Eddie Morris. Allie, we're going to have 5 laps to go here.
This is going to get crazy. There goes
Chaput jumps to the high side. Here comes Buccino to go help Joe Wright and Eddie Morris. And just the 3 of them in that middle line, they've got them all stacked up on the high side. Now Dustin Dean comes down that middle line. He's going to bring the 74.
Yellow flag is out.
Yellow is out.
Michael White goes on a wild ride into John Deere country. Looks like we saw some bump drafting gone wrong with Cheeseburger.
See if I can find it here on the screen. Oh, this was down on the
Trioval. Not even where the leaders were.
Yeah, these guys were literally all by themselves. Exactly that, just a bump draft gone wrong. You can't push on the corner of the truck. You have to make sure you're square on that back bumper. That spins him around, and then he tries to get it back going, and that's right there in front of Sylvan Seguin, so that's going to bring up the yellow. So that changes everything.
I think we're going to have a green-white checkered here.
We are going to have a green-white checker. You know what else we're going to have? We have teammates lined up here with Eddie Morrison first and Joe Wright in third.
Okay.
You're going to have Stephen Black and Michael Provolt lined up on the outside.
No, I actually want to take the time to highlight all the teams that we have in this series. Because, I mean, this is Super Speedway Racing. Got Apex Racing, Alan Warnecki, Dustin Buck, Dustin Dean. 2 Pedals, 1 Clutch. Got Brandon White, Brian Nudie, Brian Merle Jr., and Mike Provolt. Carolina Sim Racing with Cheeseburger, Derek Chaput, and Devin Buccino. Cyclone Racing with Jackson Qualley, Stephen Black, and Sylvan Seguin. Got Intensity Racing Team with David Wright, Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, Logan Hagerman, and Matt Pucker Knights. Operators Racing, they have Isaiah Gill, Michael White, Mike Rentz, and
Atlee, your microphone cut out for a second.
Okay, so we had... No, I heard something in the background. I was not sure what it was. I was trying to figure out what it was. So we had Isaiah Gill, Michael White, Mike Rentz, and TJ Floyd.
Oh, I muted my microphone so I could cough, is what you heard.
Okay.
I didn't want everybody else to hear me, just like when I sneezed earlier. But, yeah, so I need to make my way up. I think that's going to be my goal. Once the border opens back up and then we can travel again, I got to make my way up to the Great North to go get some great food.
Poutineery. There it is. Nick Mather gave the link.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
So we're going to have ourselves a green-white checker here, and who's going to be able to play spoiler here? Eddie Morris on the outside looking in. He's sitting back in 17th in points right now. And if he can get the win here, that's going to lock him directly into the playoffs. Same with Joe Wright. Joe Wright is sitting back in 14th in points. If he can get the win, he'd move into the playoffs automatically.
Let's see. Who else is up there with the chance?
Michael Provolt sitting in 13th right now. He's
only 1 point off the cutoff.
Oh. You know, I don't see Stephen Black on the point standings at all. So I don't think he ran enough races to qualify. That's what I'm guessing here. That or they're just not showing all the points all the way back. So yeah, you've got a couple guys right there who have the chance to play spoiler and move into the playoffs.
Oh, Nick Mather says, smiley face.
Talking about me going up to the north. I've got a good friend of mine who lives in just outside of Montreal. I actually have to look at the map to remember how to say the name of the place, but he's just outside of Montreal, right on the lake there. And we used to go up to the F1 race all the time, which is a great time. If you've never been to an F1 race, I highly recommend it.
So many great places to go. You can go to British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. I've heard great things about Prince Edward Island.
Yep. So
Nova Scotia.
So he lives just outside of Beaconsfield in Baie-Youth, which is right on the tip of Lake of Two Mountains and the St. Lawrence River. So beautiful area right there. They're in London, Ontario.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Beautiful place. Yep, Nick Matter says, we are in London, Ontario, and Kathy Willem says, visit the bot squad. You'll have to do that, Josh. Can't go down to Canada without visiting the bot squad.
Well, you can't go down to Canada. It's a case of a really long time. You have to go up to Canada.
Yep, bot squad will provide all you can eat smokes. Man, they are really... So you have to go now, Josh. it's guaranteed. You gotta go now.
That's about I'm gonna guess that's probably about a 7 to 8 hour ride for me, but sounds like it'd be worth it.
Again, all you can eat smokes from the bot squad. That is pretty good.
I can just
deal there.
I can just take the Mass Pike to Route 90 all the way down, cross over at Niagara Falls, and you guys got me planning a trip now.
Yep, when the borders close, you're gonna see the number 81 coming up there.
The pace
You're gonna
cars.
Are you gonna drive a race car?
There we go. Pace car is pulling off. We're gonna have our first attempt at the green-white checker here. Eddie Morris with his teammate and team owner Joseph Wright. Why did I say Jason? Joe's gonna hate me when he hears that. Joseph Wright right behind him. Stephen Black and Michael Provo on the outside. Green flags in the air. We're back racing. Fronek gets that big jump on the outside yet again. He knows how to time that start there. But Eddie Morris getting a great push from Joe Wright. Sure, looks like
a little bit of separation
now, yeah.
Provo and Stephen Black are hooked up, though. They're getting some momentum up there on that high side. Let's see if they can get a good run here on the back straightaway. Get by the aid of Eddie Morris.
A little separation now is Michael Provo. 4 wide.
3 wide.
4 wide.
Oh no, TJ Floyd makes it 4 wide.
They're still trying to. Oh, Michael Provo.
Save it. They saved it. They saved it.
Oh no, they're wrecking behind.
No.
Green flag still in the air though.
Keep
no
it,
yellow.
Just keep it.
No yellow. We're
Thank
coming
you,
to the
race
white.
Control. Let him run. Here we go. Final lap.
White flag.
Eddie Morris is in the lead.
Joe Wright right behind Stephen Black, Isaiah Gill. Stephen Black trying to play spoiler here, trying not to lock anybody into the playoffs here. Joe Wright giving Eddie everything he's got. Temperatures don't matter now. It's all about the push. And Joe getting the good shove here on Eddie Morris as they go into turn number 3. Buccino right on that back bumper. Oh, Buccino got in a little bit. Oh, Isaiah Gill got loose right behind Stephen Black.
That's
going
to
now.
hurt the high side.
Is Joe going to try to jump to the high side here? Is he going to stay with his teammate? Buccino now to the high side. And here's the excitement as they come through. They're wrecking behind.
Spin it through the grass. Oh, 3 wide racing. Can they get a good run? Eddie Morris.
Eddie Morris going to be your winner as they were 5 wide across the line.
Goodness. That's Talladega for you.
Eddie Morris, Tarek Chaput finishing in second. Stephen Black, Joseph Wright, and Isaiah Gill make up your top 5. You know what?
I am a happy guy.
We normally don't pull a wreckage replay for the end here, but I think this is well deserving of one, as I believe.
Well deserved.
I believe we were 5 wide coming across the line.
5 wide at one point.
Let's see if we can get a great camera view of this, as we'll do this in slow motion here. And yeah, they were 4, and there it goes, 5 wide.
With Gil. Wow.
Incredible finish.
Incredible.
That,
Could not
folks,
have asked for a better finish.
That, folks, is how it's done.
And we got a lot of chats. Brett Merle says, great win, Eddie Morris. Nice teamwork by Joe. Blake Hensley said, Eddie Morris approved win. He is referencing the Discord emoji, the Eddie approved Discord emoji, which I find myself personally using a lot.
Eddie's going to come over here and burn it down.
And then all of the dirt, which is Mikkelopson, says, what a finish.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay. Burn it down, young man. You deserve it. Happy day for him.
32-year-old from Sevierville, Tennessee. Wow.
Great job, Eddie. And that's going to lock him into the playoffs. Eddie just went from 17th in points into the playoffs locked in. That's incredible. That's a big big night for him, and I'm sure he's excited to be in the
I mean,
playoffs.
he's got to have one shining moment blasted in his head right now.
So let's take a look at our official results while we wait for our
Top three.
top three to come in. Eddie Morris, Intensity Racing Team with the win. Derek Chapu, Stephen Black, Joseph Wright, Isaiah Gill make up your top five. Devin Buccino, Brian Nudie, Dustin Dean, Will Cloud Jr., and Colin Willems makes up your top 10. So the bot crew, hey, came in, the bot squad, he came in top 10. So great finish for him. He was already locked in the playoffs, so just more points for him as the playoffs start. And Logan Hagerman, 11th, Michael Rentz Jr., 12th, TJ Floyd, Michael Lawrence, Michael White, Brian Merle Jr., Jackson Qualley, Michael Provolt, Matt Knights, and Sylvan Seguin are going to make up your top 20. Let's
Man.
see if we can get our third place finisher, Stephen Black, into the booth. Steven, you got Josh and Atlee in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I do, Josh.
Man, great run tonight. I mean, I know you were hoping to get that win tonight. I saw you get a little bit loose there at the end when Provolt was trying to give you the big shove. And how did the race go from your end? Did you have a strategy coming in, or?
Strategy was just to run up front for most of the race. I know things got kind of hairy kind of at the beginning, a lot of three wide, so we hung back and avoided the big stuff. And I thought we had enough to get a good run there at the end, but Gil got loose going into three and killed the momentum we had on the outside. And I know it got real tight there, and I was lucky to get third because it looked like Pacino and Joe were racing pretty hard, and it opened up a gap for me, and I was able to squeeze through it and get a top three out of it. So,
I mean, coming into that green-white checkered, what was going through your mind? What was going to be your plan?
me and Gil were hoping to hook up and hopefully get up to the front, and it almost worked. Like things just happened so quickly here. I know me and Kyle Mays got together coming out of 4 at one point, and I don't know if I came up or he came down or what happened, but sorry to him if I caused that. But
And I don't know if you noticed at the end of the race, you guys were actually 5 wide coming across the line there.
yeah, I knew it got hairy. I didn't realize that we were 5 wide until I went back and looked at the replay. But I mean, that was a gnarly finish. I know last night didn't end very well for me, but I know Joe and I linked up tonight at one point after a lot of people checked up and got separated, and we worked pretty well to get back up with the lead pack. So
Yeah, we saw that, and great job. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
thanks to you guys for doing this broadcast. Anyone that's watching and supporting the league. Big shout out to Isaiah there for giving me that push and almost getting it done there.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again real soon as the playoffs start.
Yep, thank you. Cyclone Racing number 1.
All right, we're going to pull in our second place finisher, Derek Chapu, Derek, Josh, and Atlee in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, great run for you. Kind of came from the back to the front to the back all night long, moving up 16 spots from your starting spot to come home in second tonight. And I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Steven there. Did you have any kind of strategy coming in? Was there anything that you were trying to do differently tonight?
No, not really. I had to go for the win tonight to try to make myself in the playoffs. So I was pretty much just going for any gap I had. Me and Devin were working together pretty good, pushing our way through. So it almost worked out for me. I was less than a 10th out of it.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm also gonna ask the same question that I asked Steven. I mean, coming into that green-white checkered, what was going through your head? What were you thinking what were you gonna do?
Again, Devin and I were just we were planning the push. We were going to cut to the high line. Never really worked out for us. But he kind of got shoveled back a little bit, and I was able to cut low and snuck into second.
Yeah, awesome job. And I don't know if you noticed, unless you looked at the replay, but you guys were 5 wide coming across the line, so that must have been pretty hairy at the
Yeah,
end
it was
there.
wild.
But anybody you'd
Yeah,
like, anybody you'd like to thank tonight? Any shout outs you'd like to give?
yeah, I'd love to shout out Grandma Hagerman. She's been supporting us really good, so it's nice to see that.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish. And I don't know, you probably didn't have enough points to get into the playoffs. Then it sounds like correct.
No, I didn't.
Uh, well, hopefully we'll see you through the playoffs, trying to get a win before the season ends.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Right.
And finally, we're gonna bring in the one, the
The
only
only
Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh Natley in the booth. Got us?
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
Hey, great job tonight, coming from making up 13 positions from the start. Getting a little school in there from Joseph Wright, getting the big push to the front and able to hold on to it. And did you look behind you in the mirror to see the 5 wide behind you?
No, I was more focused on holding my line and letting Joe push me to the promised land, and that's what happened, man. If it wasn't for Joe back there pushing me, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. I
Yeah,
promise you that.
was that the plan from the beginning? Working with Joe, you got all the intensity drivers working together to get to the front.
I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, at one point we were all, lined up three nose to tail on the inside line there, and it was kind of midway through the race, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But we was just kind of hanging out there. But whenever Stephen Black started pushing me up there, and I appreciate him for the push too, man, because he pushed me up there quite a bit too. It I left that inside open just a little bit, man, and I probably could have came down, but I didn't want to cause anything big, because you got to drive smart. Yeah, I figured if it was meant to be, it'd come back to me. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was kind of worried though whenever that happened because I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my goodness, they're gonna eat me alive. And I seen Joe there and I was like, my knight in shining armor, son, let's go. That's what we did. So I appreciate those guys.
And this locks you into the playoffs. How does that feel?
Oh man, it feels great knowing that I survived a race for the championship another week.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations again. I know you can give a bunch of shout outs. Got any more shout outs you got to give, or is that about it?
Just shout out to those guys that helped push me up towards the front. Intensity Broadcasting, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys letting me have you on the car. iOS for putting it on. Dean, Quali, uh, Max McClure, Brian Nudie, all the admins. Appreciate you guys. Dustin Dean sucks. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win. And we move on to the playoffs next week where we're going to be in Charlotte. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. And I'm just playing, Dustin. Don't get butthurt.
Awesome job, man. Well, I'm sure we'll talk to you again as the playoffs go off, as you were the second place finisher in the Cup Series last year. I know you want to get that championship under your belt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to Charlotte. It's gonna be a good race, and hopefully we can talk to you guys again.
All right, man. Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner, Eddie Morrison. Atlee, I mean, could you have had a better race?
No, I mean, I love the decision to have the final race of the regular season at Talladega. It made for some awesome racing and 5 wide across the line. That's crazy. You couldn't have asked for a better race.
I mean, you mix in the playoffs, you mix in the cutoff, you mix in desperation, and you mix in a track where you can hold it 5 wide and anybody has a chance to win, and you're going to get finishes like that. And I
Love it.
mean, we joke around back and forth in the series, how sometimes the racing isn't the best in this series in particular. But my God, they just proved everybody wrong tonight.
They
So,
did for sure.
Outman, why don't you take us home?
Thank you, everyone, for watching the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, all 3 platforms, as we are on the road to 2,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 still on Twitch and YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. We're on the road to 50. And then make sure to always, as always, listen to the Intensity Broadcasting podcast on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. And also, you can watch it on Facebook and YouTube. We did skip last week because of the fact that there was no racing on Sunday because the Bristol races were postponed till Monday. But still, there's all the replays of the previous podcast. So I'm Atlee Atman-Weiss on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Over